Old and Achy here with another Halo 5 Guardians Mythic LASO, or Legendary All Skulls On walkthrough. And this is the 15th and final mission in the series, and the name of it is Guardians. And I gotta tell you that this one was a real pain in the butt. I'll discuss a little bit more in detail as we get going here. But the start is just a panic rush, and the ending is just high anxiety, if you will. But here we are, setting it up, taking its time. Okay, and we run into the central room here, and I'm just going to go over here and mark a Hydra launcher for one of my guys to pick up, and I'm going to grab a light rifle. I start with a battle rifle and a pistol, and I switched over to the pistol so I could drop it. And this is the way out the door. Now, whether or not the Hydra launcher is actually going to make a difference, I don't know, because at the start here I am just blindly running. And as far as the light rifle goes, I honestly never used it. But it was something to do while we're waiting for the door to open. There we go. No, you don't have to smack it to get it to open. I was just getting bored. Alright, now here we go. We're going down this Forerunner. I guess it's a Forerunner elevator, if you will, or lift. And there's a Guardian getting ready to leave. And go do its thing. That was pretty sweet. And you can see we're just kind of cruising on down here. There's the Exuberant, the Monitor, and there's a whole bunch of Guardians out there. The one in the middle, above the Cryptum, that circle blue ball down there, that is Cortana's Guardian, I think. And they're blah blah blah. Now what's going to happen here when we get to the end? There goes another Guardian, by the way. When we get to the end, I'm going to run through here, and as I come out into a clearing, I'm going to take out a Jackal, and then I'm going to just rush a path. And the thing of it is that the faster you go, the better. If you stumble or you jump or you fall down or whatever, it's game over generally. Somebody's going to tag you. So it's sprint, a little bit of boost, sprint, a little bit of boost, sprint, come around the corner here, and a little bit of boost, and hug the wall as much as you can. Okay, now as we come up here, we're going to jump and boost over a couple of soldier captains right there, and then kind of zigzag our way over here, and a little boost there to get past them because they're firing at us. Run right by that walker and the two soldiers. Run up to these rocks right here, jump up, okay, and then jump down, and we got two turrets that we got to worry about, so I'm going to kind of zigzag my way around, and I thought I bought it here because I stumbled, but I got lucky. So the idea was to kind of run up and just keep them moving, like so. I guess I could have smacked him. I wonder if I could get my shields back. I never even thought of that. Alright, get out here, take a breath, in cover, and then haul it down here. And we have a Mantis, and we're going to be using the Mantis for most of the, well, actually generally all the mission. That's going to be our firepower right there. Alright, now what's going to happen here is that a couple of shielded Jackals and an Elite are going to drop. Just get them going that way and back up. Now there's going to be, there's a couple of soldiers down there, Promethean soldiers, the two Jackals, the Elite, maybe a grunt or two, and we need to take them out. Ooh, I just had a pause there in my preview screen. I hope that didn't affect the video. I don't know why that happens on occasion. Alright, we got all the bad guys down, so now I got to take out this graph core in there. I believe there's 5 of them. 5 total, and we're going to be doing this in a very specific sequence. And I'll explain at the end why we do it the way we do it. Now, I can tell you right away that, you know, obviously the first one's right there, but I'm also going to hide a hog down there, you know, to save till the end of the mission, and I want it as far away from my buddies as I can get, because if I'm in a vehicle like the Mantis, then they're going to try to get into a vehicle, and it's very possible that they're going to grab the hog. Okay, now up here in this middle area, there's several jackals and a couple of grunts. And what I'm doing first, though, is that there's turrets up there. And I believe they're shade turrets. I'm not quite sure because they are a bit of a distance away there. And I want to take those down because later on I don't want to have somebody jump in, one or both of them, and start popping me with it, with fire. Okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try to take out at least one of these jackals. And as soon as one of the jackals goes down, or as soon as a grunt, if you will, any enemy out there goes down, alright, what's going to happen is that a ship's going to come in here and drop off a Wraith. Phantom's going to come in and drop off a Wraith. And we're going to have to get our guys out of there so they stay alive. Oh good, we got another jackal. So I marked them to get out of there. I'm going to mark them as far away as I can. Now one thing you got to know about these guys is that they'll always want to come back into the fight, so I have to continually mark them back over that area. Alright, there's the Phantom firing at them. As soon as the Phantom gets out of the way, I'm going to go after the Wraith. Sometimes I can knock it out with one burst, sometimes it takes several. Depends on how jittery my hands are, I guess. Okay, there goes the Phantom. And there is the Wraith. So I'll fire rockets and machine gun, and then get back, wait till the gunner stops firing, the machine gunner there. Notice that I'm taking fire. I want to make sure my shields come back. The shields on a Mantis will regenerate. It can take damage though when the shields are down, so we have to be a little bit careful. And generally, there we go. We'll know that we've taken damage by a couple of things. You hear a little explosion, meaning some piece of the armor fell off, and it might start smoking a little bit. Okay, we got the couple of shielded jackals out there, and we got a couple of grunts here. Actually, it turned out to be 3 grunts, I believe, in ghosts, and they're not hard to take out. The rockets will take them out, or my buddies, or both. Alright, so we took care of the ghosts and the grunts, and now we want to clean this area up here. So I'm kind of looking around to see if there's a grunt or two, and I don't see anything. So the grunts must have jumped into empty ghosts. So the area is clear. Now I'm going to come back down here, and this is where I'm going to set up the hog way back here in our initial area for later use. So I'm going to come down here. I mark my guys kind of at the midway point there, and I'm going to run up here and make sure they stay there momentarily. So now look, they were going after that hog when I started marking position. So this is what we got to be careful about. They always want to jump in a vehicle when I'm in one. Alright, so I marked them again, and I'm going to run down here and hide my hog right about there, and then haul it back up to the Mantis. It's very possible that one of my guys might have jumped into the Mantis and gone after the next group of bad guys. But oh, look, they stayed up there. Well, that's a good thing. They actually obeyed that time. Generally, they'll just run after you. Okay, now we've got the second grav core coming up. We're not going to take it out. We want to save this one for the last. And the reason being, and we will see, the reason being is that when it goes down, when the last one goes down, we're going to have a whole bunch of Prometheans spawn in that middle area, and I want to have my guys and me in position to deal with it. Alright, so this actually took a little bit longer in this run than in previous runs, because the knight up here, there's a knight and a bunch of crawlers, by the way. The knight up here was being a real pain in the butt. He just kept hiding. Now, one thing to note here is that once I put one bullet on that grav core, there will be another spawn of 2 soldiers and a soldier captain. So we want to be a little bit careful. Alright, he actually came out. And now see, he goes back and hides. And so I have to go sacrifice my guardian buddies. They're really going to take gas here, just to get him out here. Okay, so we got a ghost, and and I don't know what that was. I think they both went flying off the end there. Yep, one of them still up. There he goes. So I spent a few minutes here, several minutes here, just trying to get this knucklehead knight out and visible to me, and I put a little fire on that right side if I could, but I wanted to make sure that I was not too exposed there, if you will, and I didn't hit the grav core. Now the other thing is that hopefully we don't accidentally take the grav core out, and I have to be worried about my guardian buddies, because they occasionally do that, just firing at the knight and or the crawlers up there, and or the soldiers. Because once that grav core goes down, then whoever's still alive defending it will charge, and you really don't want a soldier captain and a knight to be charging you. So you got to be real careful here, and this is why I take a lot of time with this. I'm trying not to be too aggressive. I still wound up taking gas here a little bit. Thank goodness this Manus has got pretty decent shields. Alright, so what I'm going to do is probably going to be sending my guys back up to be fodder for the night. Sometimes he'll come out and just stay there, and he'll dodge rockets. So what I try to do is get him to dodge rockets so he jumps left, and then I can put machine gun fire on him, and my buddies, if they're around, can put fire on him. And then as he moves back to the middle, just rinse and repeat. He will dodge. Okay, he's popping out a little bit here. And like I said, he will dodge the rockets, and hopefully he'll dodge in such a way as I can keep him exposed. But in this particular run, he's just been a real pain in the butt. Whoa, somebody just went flying. That's the other thing. My guardian buddies aren't very smart when it comes to knights. Oh, there's somebody else just went flying. What they'll do is they'll charge the knight, and the knight will just whack them and send them flying through the air. Which I think is a rather stupid way to approach business here. Now, while we're going through this, let me put a couple. Whoops! Look out! That's an incinerator cannon, by the way. I can take one direct hit on it, but not much more. All right, one of my guardian buddies, I believe, has grabbed another ghost, and I think he's toast. No pun intended. But what I was going to say, with score attack on, I can be revived out of armor lock if one of my guardian buddies is near enough to do so, and likewise I can direct one of them to revive another, and I can revive one of them myself. So it's a little bit different than the earlier days of the game. And the thing I forgot to mention in that initial rush is that the one benefit of it is that it is at the beginning of the mission, and if you can at least get to the I'm getting a little, oh, he's moving away from me. I'll see if I can get him angry enough. Whoa, So I got a little glancing blow there, getting him angry enough to move back over. Anyway, the one nice thing about that initial rush is that it is in the beginning of the mission. And if you take gas, just restart. I would also practice it a little bit. You know, running and boosting, you know, and get that get that route down. Now see here, I'm starting to smoke. So I did take a little damage. The first volley of that incinerator cannon dropped my shields, and the second volley caused a little bit of damage. Here he comes again. At least I got him on the outside now. So believe me, you know, when I actually ran this today, I had to restart several times because I was taking gas in that initial rush. So the bottom line with that rush is that be as fast as you can and don't stumble, and follow the route that I followed. Don't stop to fire at anybody. That's not going to do you any good. Alright, good. He's paying attention to my Guardian buddies now, which means he's not firing at me. Well, as soon as I said that, boy, I tell you what, that was an ill-timed statement. But he's about ready to go. He's not too far from going now. Notice how he dodged that and got him out to the left. I'm going to have him dodge again, stay out there to the left, and there we go. Now on occasion what he'll do is he'll fire that incinerator cannon right into a rock trying to fire at me and blow himself up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm sending my guys back a little bit. There's the spawn of the 2 soldiers and soldier captain, and we're going to have to take them out. Now I'm going to try to fire a little bit up here, maybe put a couple more bullets in the grav core to get them to show up. Now it would have been nice if, there we go, there's one of them. It would have been nice if one or both of the regular soldiers had jumped into a ghost, because they are really easy to take out. You put rockets on it, it blows up, and so does the, okay, so does the knight. Okay, we got the knight. There's the soldier, I mean, not the knight, the soldier. There's the soldier captain firing over that little ridge right there. Let's see if we can get... Okay, the second soldier's down. Now we just got to deal with the captain and his splinter cannon, which can put damage on the Mantis, much more so than a light rifle. Alright, now he's kind of locked away and hidden a little bit. Oh, he just went down. Good. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set up for the second, or actually the third grav core. This is the second one. But we'll call it the last one. We're going to set up for the next grav core. And first of all, I'm looking for that incinerator cannon because I want one of my guys to have it. There we go. And I want to position my guys up near the next grav core, because we're going to get a little tricky here. Alright, get them set up right there, and then I'm going to go grab, making sure they're all, see, there's always one lagging back. Alright, make sure all 3 of them are up there, and here comes another Mantis we can use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this in an area similar to the hog, that I can save it till the last firefight that we're going to have to go through, which is inside the cryptum itself. Alright, so we'll put it here, and I immediately jump out and start positioning my guys up ahead again, because they trailed me back and I was worried they were going to take my first Mantis, or they're going to grab the one I just positioned. The one I just positioned while my back was turned, and that has happened. You have to be really careful with these guys. Alright, so now I've got them positioned up where we want to be, and the next grav core is defended by 2 snipers, 2 soldier snipers, and 4 turrets. And there's a Promethean turrets, by the way. Okay, so I got them to spawn. I come down here, I fire on the grav core a little bit, get them to spawn. Sometimes they'll spawn earlier. Mark one of the 2 soldiers, snipers. And then I'm using the edge of the this rock formation here, sort of the split between going right and going left, as cover till I get my shields back. Get my shields back and then go after the soldiers. I'm not worried about the turrets yet. The soldiers got binary rifles and they can go right through you. It's a one-shot kill on me, personally. Okay, I got one of the soldiers down, but I'm being protected by the armor of the Manus. But I don't want to have my armor drop too much. There we go, there's the second soldier. I don't want to have my armor drop too much, because if the armor is down, the shields are down, and I take a shot on the Manus, it'll go right through and tag me. And that probably end of mission. Alright, so there's one turret down. Here comes the second one. And let's go after the third one. And now the fourth one. Okay, and then come up here and take out the grav core. And do not forget this, because I've done that in previous runs. I just totally forgot about taking that thing out. And then I go around, take out the last one, which is behind us there. And I'm not getting the signal that the last one's taken out. And I'm going, oh my gosh, what do we do now? But I took gas later in the run, so it didn't matter. Alright, what I'm doing now is I'm looking around for a grunt and a ghost, because usually one will show up right away, but maybe because we had those grunts early on in the central area that we took out, that eliminated the grunt coming up to me here, they will come up a little bit later on. Anyway, I don't see any, so on to the next. Okay, so there's a turret over there. I want to take that out. And there's a couple of elites down there, and what'll happen is that when you start putting fire on the turret, they'll jump out of the turret. They won't stay in the turret, which is a shame. Okay, I marked the turret and put fire on it, and I'm sure the elite jumped out. Oh, that's fire from one of the elites. And here comes a grunt and a ghost. Alright, I'm not sure whether I got that turret down or not. But I think there's 3 ghosts down there, 2 grunts and an elite. So actually there's 3 elites. And the ghosts are very easy to take out if they're exposed. Ooh, my guys just went flying. Now these elites are almost impossible to take out. Like knights, they're very dodgy when it comes to rockets. See how dodgy they are with the rockets? Well, they're generally dodgy anyway. I'm going to drive that elite back in a little bit. See if I can take out. And my preview screen here is pretty small, so I believe that I've taken out all the ghosts that are down there, and I've just got these elites left. And at some point, if my guys don't show up, there's another grunt and a ghost. Like I said, they're pretty easy to take out. Wait, my shields come back. Alright, looks like that elite ran around the corner there, or flew around the corner when I put fire on it. Now it's not okay. He's running back around behind that shielding for the grav core. That is another grav core down there, by the way. Now, a couple of ways to approach this. We could kind of leave these guys totally alone and take out the one that's behind the big shield here off to the right, and then tackle these guys. But I have found in the past that if you let these guys stick around, then it's very possible that they'll just hang loose by the grav core, and then when you come up to the cave entrance that we'll be seeing here momentarily. They'll sneak up on you. Okay, so there's the shielding there. I don't remember if you remember enemy lines, but there was shielding there too. Alright, in here to start, well, we're going to take a ghost out. And a grunt. And there might have been another grunt there as well. I don't know whether or not that elite got taken out. When my guys come back, what I want to do is I want to mark. I should have done right there is mark that guy. Now see, all the way down there, he tagged me proximity-wise with a grenade that I never saw coming. That's the other thing about elites that you got to really be careful about. One thing is if I were on foot and I got tagged by a sticky grenade like that, I would die. There is no armor lock. There is no revive. All right, I'm going to let my guys deal with him while I start working on this cave area. And in here, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to. And there's I do not like that rapid fire stuff. When he shoots his big pulse at me, I can dodge that pretty easily, but those little rapid fire things, and I have no idea what that's called. You know, that I can dodge. But the other stuff seems to have aim help on it, if you will. And okay, so I can see him. It's way off there in the distance by the shielding for the grav core, but I can see him when I hit him with grenades. Ooh, did I take him down already? Took something down. It must have been another grunt in a. One of my guys must have taken out a grunt in a ghost, because the point total there, 128,700, is what you would normally see for the ghost and the grunt. So what I was saying is that when I hit that guy with rockets, or as rockets explode in the vicinity, it lights up the hunter, and I know that I'm firing in the right place. But it's so dusty, and my moving back and forth, by the way, does kick up even more dust. I thank the game creators for that one. That I can hardly see the guy. So the fact that he's firing back at me actually helps, because that tells me where he's at. If he just stood there and maybe off to one side or right up against that shielding area there, I'd never be able to see him unless I moved up close, and I don't want to do that. Now, like the core that we're saving to the end, when I actually put a bullet, and it could be a ricochet, when I put bullets on the grav core itself, there's going to be several elites and a couple of grunts dropping down from above to additionally protect the grav core. You don't see them now, but they will drop down. Alright, one of them's down. Good. And I think we've got a grunt coming. Yep. And that's because one of my guys said something. That's the nice thing about having them up around me, is that they may actually warn me that there's a grunt coming. Okay, now we can work on the second hunter. So I'm either going to get warned that there's a grunt in the area or a ghost in the area, or I'll see a little bit of that ghost fire hitting me in the backside. And you can notice that I am kind of flaming a little bit there. So the armor in my Mantis has taken a little bit of gas, a little bit more than a little. It's pretty. It's about half gone right now, maybe even a little more than half gone. So I have to be careful. I don't want to take many more hits, because we do have, after we get done with all this stuff, we do have this one major firefight left before we can actually get into the Krypton. And that's still, that's still about 12 minutes away or so. So here I am, just putting fire, just kind of stationary here. I can see him lighting up a little bit in the back. So I put bullets on him. I put rockets on him. Now, one thing about the machine gun, it will overheat. All right, I believe that was a grunt. So the score for a hunter is 117,000. The score for a grunt is 11,700. So it's kind of like we're missing an extra 0 there. So even though they look similar or the same, especially if in the heat of battle. Oh, there goes that doggone it. It's like he's peeing green stuff on me. Yeah, oh, it was aim assist. That's what I was trying to come up with what the term was. It's aim. That thing has whatever that fire is, that rapid fire stuff. I guess that's his version of a machine gun. Has got aim assist. And again, I can dodge the big ones. It takes them a little bit of time to get to me. But his little green rapid fire stuff. All right, I thought I heard something about a ghost. I just don't want to blow up one of my guys. Okay, we're back at it. So this is really a rinse and repeat operation. Put fire, dodge fire, put fire, dodge fire. Okay, there's the ghost. Now I've got the audio, the game audio turned down, so I don't even know if you can hear my guys telling me that there's a ghost in the area, but when you're actually running the game, running the mission, it comes across loud and clear, so that's not an issue. There we go, finally got him. So that just takes a little bit of patience. Now, I think there was a grunt in there. I'm going to come over here to see if that last elite is done for, which I believe he is. And what I need to do now is put just a little bit of fire, and actually I think I did put fire on the grav core itself. That made the elites drop down from the top, and now I can send my guys in because their shields aren't all that great, but they do have those things. Those oh jeez, just took gas. They do have the fuel rod guns. Or fuel rod, okay, there goes one. Fuel rod cannons. I like to call them fuel rod guns because the acronym is FRG, and that's a heck of a lot easier to say in the heat of battle. So I think there's at least 2 fuel rod elites in there. Okay, there goes another one. See, their shields aren't all that great. So my guys are doing a pretty good job here. Now it's very possible that when it gets down to 1 or 2, especially the last one, he will charge. He'll come charging out of the cave. Alright, another one went down. By the way, there's a little turret up there, right up above the grav core. And I think I might have taken that out early. If you're scoring that, it's a fixed turret. There's a fixed turret there that when you take the turret out itself is 351,000 or 35,100 or something like that. 35-1. Okay, we've got another one down. And I think maybe there's one left that I didn't even realize. Oh, and there's a grunt. Okay, got the grunt. Now, I thought we were done here. I think I'm not absolutely sure, so I run one of my guys in to see if they take fire. Okay, we're done. Alright, grav core is down. Now I'm going to go back over here to where those 2 elites were, the 3 elites. And we're going to take out that grav core, and we can walk it right up to about here and see the top of it and just take it out from here. Now there might be slightly different tactics for doing this, but as many times as I've run this mission failing at the end, not here but at the end, I've had plenty of practice with taking these things out. Oh, here comes a grunt. Right on time. Okay, you can expect that when we get all those done in this around the central area. Okay, now what we're going to do here is I'm going to set my guys back. That's why I momentarily stopped. And notice how smoky and flamey my Manus is. And I'm not going to switch. I'm not going to switch to the other Manus. I want that at full shields, at full health. All right, so I got my guys set, and I'm going to go back up here and take out this last Grav Core. Meanwhile, Cortana is trying to bait my buddies and me. She's gotten actually rather nasty there. Okay, so now we should see the Promethean spawn, and I'm going to try to mark a knight. I'm not a knight, but a soldier up there. Now, there's a couple of knights that spawn in with these guys, and off to my right, you can't see now, but there is a turret that spawns as well. Now, one thing I found interesting as we go through this, now what will happen here sometimes, but not always, that a soldier will come in closer to the right here, come up off that ledge in the middle and come in to the right, and I immediately send my guys over there. I think we got him. And then I will remark, try to mark any soldier that's close by. And then what I try to do for my Guardian buddies, for the most part, I can see them flipping around a little bit. What I try to do for my Guardian buddies is I try to focus fire on the Knights, so they're jumping around and worried about me and not trying to charge my buddies there while they take out the soldiers. Now, all three of them are down, and that Knight on the right, as long as a soldier doesn't come out and defend him, that Knight on the right just sits there. So I have nothing really to do. I'm not going to try to take out any soldiers. It's almost impossible for the ones that are way back. So I'll just sit here and just pop my friendly Knight, who's not moving at all. I just keep popping him with machine gun fire, and I'm trying to keep it a short burst so it doesn't overheat. And this is perfect for me because I'm waiting for my Guardian buddies to come back. Because once they're back, I will send them off after soldiers, and hopefully by then this Knight will be down. And when you see little flashes on him, that means that I'm actually doing damage to his armor. Every time I get a little flash, yeah, and I can see it. It's just these little flashes. That means, and I'm firing just straight at him. Alright, I think he just went down. Yep, he just went down, so let's go mark a Knight. Mark a soldier. And I'm marking him up way up here on the left to start, and I'm trying to find that, try to help him out with a little bit of rocket fire, and then find that Knight, that second Knight, and keep him off of their backs. Again, he'll go charging after them if left alone. And these guys actually did a pretty good job this time. Did a pretty good job this time with the soldiers. Okay, I got one that was damaged. Now sometimes the soldiers will come down close in, which gives me more of an opportunity to put damage on them. And sometimes the last two will come down to the right and try to put light rifle fire on me. So when I see a soldier go down by the score, more than anything else, then I'll try to mark another one for my guys to take out. Okay, I think I just saw. Yeah, there we go. The soldier just came down to the right there. Now you can see that my Manus is in pretty tough shape. Okay, he went down. Good. So I immediately mark. The soldier when it comes down close in. What are you firing me for, you knucklehead? All right, I think that's it for the soldiers. So now we just got to take out the Knight. Now, one thing to note here: sometimes the Knight will just keep moving back and back and back, and if he goes back and to the right, he is getting awful close to the area where I stashed that hog. So if I see that happen, then I immediately reset my guys closer to me so that they don't go chasing him and then say, oh, there's a hog, let's go get that. Because that hog is very, very important, as we will see here in about 2 or 3 minutes or so. But in this particular run, he's kind of sticking around. I don't mind him going up here to the left. Again, he's pretty damn dodgy with the rockets. Okay, I believe he just went down. All right, so now let's just take out this, get my rockets back, and take out this turret. One more blast, and there goes the turret. So it's okay, 35,100. And that's true for a fixed turret as well. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab my shiny new Manus.
Take that position.
And I'm going to bring it up to just short of the cryptum. And by the way, the open the cryptum door is right there. And that's what Exuberant's telling me. And okay, we're at this point, and we're 41:20 into the mission itself. And so it's time for me to take an old man break. Because once I go inside here, it's going to be another 25 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of pure high anxiety. So I am actually, if you want, you can just scroll ahead about another 30 to 45 seconds or so. Just fast forward a bit. I'm surprised my guys are not running back and forth like they're lost. They're just kind of sitting there. Maybe a couple seconds longer than I thought. Gotta be coming back here soon. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so I'm out of the Manus. I'm marking my guys to follow me. That's when you see me momentarily stop. Alright, you can hear me there. So I'm bringing them down to the hog. And I want a gunner and a passenger. And the reason I want two in there is that means there's just one on the outside. The probability of taking my shiny new Manus while I am in the hog is minimized. Alright, so we're going to bring the hog up here, and I'm going to jump out for a moment. And start her up. Now I noticed in this run and in the my last failed run that giving one of my guys, at least one of my guys, an incinerator cannon And I'm kind of looking around for the other one, and I can't find it, darn it. But given what my guys, at least one of my guys in the incinerator kind of made the first, actually probably the first 2 waves inside the cryptum, the first 2 waves of Prometheans, a little bit easier to manage. Alright, so here we go. Drive the hog right there. This is where we get tricky. And even Exuberant calls us tricky. Okay, good. He wasn't walking off with my brand new Manus. Now also note that through this entire mission I don't have shields. Alright, I crouched there, by the way. The Mantis can crouch to get in through the door, and I just walk right over the hog, and I'm on the inside. And that's the reason for the hog. Okay, I'm going to jump out and jump right back in, and that will spawn the first wave. Do not tarry, do not delay, do not look around, because the Manus will despawn if you do. So jump out, jump back in, and I immediately mark a soldier. There's going to be probably maybe 4 soldier captains and 2 or 3 regular soldiers. I'm not really sure of the count. All I know is that I'm just dodging these splinter cannon shots while I'm trying to get my guys to take out the soldiers. I'm not going out there. I'm staying right where I'm at. Okay, so I find the soldier and I mark it. Try to put rockets on it. Another one. Okay, that was the turret. That was the splinter cannon turret going down. And I'm looking at this other guy firing at me from a mobile one and a splinter cannon. Just trying to decide which way I'm going to dodge. Okay, another one went down. And I did notice that in this earlier part here, and we'll see it in the next wave a little bit too, is that these guys are going down a little quicker thanks to that incinerator cannon. I think Buck has it. I'm not sure. About time he did something positive. No offense there, Nathan. Okay. Okay, I can see some splinter cannon fire coming from left to right. There goes another one. So this guy is over here. Yeah, you can see him bebopping around there, teleporting. Now when we get down, oops, here comes some more fire. When we get down to, I think maybe 1 or 2, or the last guy maybe. Yeah, another wave will spawn in. Generally, I believe about a couple more soldier captains, maybe 3, and several regular soldiers. So it's just doing the same thing. Just have to be wary of those soldier captains with the splinter cannons. Alright, there's another one down there. So from back here, it's just a matter of trying to help your buddies out. Let them do the work, but try to put some fire on these guys. And just be wary that cannon fire can come in from any angle. It almost looks to me like they're kind of hiding behind that central post there. Yep, here comes some more cannon fire. Now I gotta admit, I'm a terrible shot, so trying to get fire on these guys, but they're definitely dodgy with the rocket fire. So what you have to do is have them totally engaged with one of your buddies, and then oh, that was close. Surprise them. Yeah, I'm trying not to take any hits here because the next, well, let's see, there's 1, 2, three, I guess, 3 mini waves, and then the final wave with at least 6 knights come in. And you really want as much armor as possible in the Manus to deal, especially at the end with the last wave of knights. Now, as in other areas, on occasion, here comes one right here. On occasion, when you get down to the last 1 or 2 of these guys, they will come up to you, and you have to be very careful. Like right there, I think that's a regular knight. Yep, that's a regular knight. I mean, not knight, soldier. I'm sorry, regular soldier. I'm trying to minimize fire on me from his light rifle, again, because I want to save as much armor as I can for the later fights. And I didn't like that sound when my shields came back. Usually when it'll be like a mini explosion, like a little boom when the Manus actually takes damage when the shields are down. Okay, so now we gotta turn on these auxiliary thingies. Auxiliary ports, if you will, to help out Exuberant. So I'm jumping out of the Mantis, just in case I have to jump out if my Manus takes too much grief. But in this run, I didn't, which thank goodness. Okay, here we go. We're off and running, and now we want to do it in this specific path, this specific order. It'll become obvious when we turn on the second auxiliary thingamabob. I want to make sure that they actually picked up that fuel rod gun. Okay, here's the first one, and the second one is all the way just opposite of it, all the way on the other side of the room, actually very close to the Manus. And that's generally the reason why, because once we turn on the second one, another wave will come in, and we want to be near to the Manus. I'm just looking at this stuff here. A couple rocket launchers, a couple sniper rifles. Really didn't have use for them during this particular run. There's an incinerator cannon, which is a good thing. And again, I'm making sure. Now, remember, we got one incinerator cannon from the outside, and we picked up a fuel rod cannon here. And it's like, who wants to pick up the weapon kind of deal here. So sometimes you just can't assume that that whoever's carrying the least powerful weapon picks up the one you just marked. So I just gotta make sure that all 3 of them have their power weapons. Okay, now I've marked them down by the Manus because the first wave will come in right at us, more or less. It'll be crawlers and watchers, and we have to be careful that we don't get overwhelmed. So this is where anxiety levels start to go up a little bit. And, at this point, from here to the end of the mission, there are no breaks. There is no quiet time. Alright, now there's watchers across the way there, and I'm trying to take them out. The more that we can take out now, the better. Because when the knights spawn, the watchers will try to heal them and when you put damage on them. So we don't want that to happen. Notice how the crawlers are coming right up the pipe there. Okay, so I think we got probably a watcher or 2 left. Yeah, that's where I'm firing now. I'm firing at that watcher way over there. Got him. Alright, now I kind of half lied there. There's a slight pause, and the next wave will come in, and crawlers will, I believe, will spawn right where my buddies are. And then way off to the left there, on the far side, there will be a sniper, and there's going to be, I think, maybe another watcher or 2. So I'm staying back here, hoping that the sniper doesn't put too much fire on me, because he does have a view of me. At some point, when I get the crawlers down... Okay, the sniper actually jumped down. Okay, good. When I get the crawlers thinned out a bit, then I'll mark the sniper for my guys to take out. Wait. Oh, yeah, he's up there on the left. He's still there. He must have jumped back up. So I'll put a little fire on him just to get him to move. I've got him marked now. Nope, I took him out. Good. Either that or something else spawned up there. It's probably something else spawned. So at some point, my guys took out the sniper. I'm not too worried about it, but he worries me a lot because he can put fire on me. Okay, so now we got some crawlers, and we got 2 knights that spawn. So I'm not too much worried about the knights unless they come up close. Now notice I use my little stomp there to take that one crawler out. That is an effective weapon when he's right next to you. Alright, so now we start moving. Now we got to start moving. And we're going to run a circuit here. We're just going to keep walking around. Now we might reverse direction and go back, but we're going to keep walking around. I got one of the knights marked. I'm not sure what that was. I don't know if that was a knight or a watcher. Again, I'm sorry. I apologize. My preview screen is small. I think that was probably a watcher. The score that I saw flash up, which is a good thing. Okay, so yeah, we got one of these guys marked and the other one's not. And notice I'm staying on the move here. Now right there, notice that he jumped up down there on the flats, and I just turned right around and walked the other way. I'm trying to see what he's going to do. So he jumps back up. So he's coming after me, so I'm just going to keep moving away from him. I got him damaged. He's hurting right now, which makes him really mad. So while I'm at it, I'll fire across the way there. So you can see what I'm doing here. This is nothing magical. There's only 2 of them. There's nothing else right now. I think I got all the crawlers. And if I didn't, there's only like 1 left or something like that. Okay, one of them's down. So it's a matter of taking out this knight, and when this knight goes out, Cortana's going to start speaking in... Well, I'm not really sure what she's saying. It's probably different worlds, maybe. I'm not really sure what it is, but she's definitely not talking to us. But we're getting ready for the next wave to come in. I'm going to position my guys down here, and I'm going to be walking this outside rung as much as I can. And it's really important here that we just keep moving. Alright, so I marked my guys down there so that the knights will focus on them and not me as much as possible. And I'll just start moving to them. Notice that they're firing at them. And as I walk up, I'll turn and fire. Okay, what I forgot to mention that there are watchers that come in. And actually the knights will spawn the watchers, and we really want to get rid of those watchers because the idea here is that as I circle, that I am putting damage on knights as I circle around, and I don't want watchers healing them. So there's a watcher right there. See, the watcher's starting to heal that knight. We've got to get rid of the watchers. That is absolute top priority. But that, and just keep moving. Alright, now what I did is I marked my guys towards my rear so that the knights would be focused on them. This is, do not forget to do that. Again, as I walk up, I will turn and fire. Good, there's another watcher down. And sometime as I walk down, but notice there, I just noticed the corner of my eye, I noticed some fire coming at me, and I just kept going. Because I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to stop. If I stop, there's a very good possibility I'm going to take gas. Like right there. That just came. I never saw that. That just came out of nowhere. So again, I'm walking up, taking a quick look, reset my guys. If they're alive, I'm not sure if they're even alive. I don't know if I heard the little click. Again, I've got the audio. Oop, there's another blast. I got the audio set down on this. So you know, in this preview screen, I don't hear a lot of what they're saying, and I don't hear the little click when I sit. Oh, look out! Set position. No, just keep going. Don't engage. Don't engage. Just walk away. He's got that Promethean shotgun thingy. He doesn't have the incinerator cannons that the other guys have. Now that guy can follow you all the way around. Yep, see, he looks like he wants to follow me, but don't stop and engage too much. Just keep moving. Don't let the other ones down there on the floor level have a clear target at you while you're exposed. So just keep doing this as much as you can. Mark your guys behind you if they're alive. Okay, somebody's alive, so that they will focus on them, and then just sort of walk up, turn around and focus. Walk as you're walking down, maybe throw some more fire out there, and then just keep going. Across these bottom open spaces, you just want to move. You don't want to stop and fire. Alright, mark position back down there again. This is really high anxiety. Believe me, I was... Oh, Buck's right there. The real key to this, I believe, is that just keep walking. Do not stop. Unless you just a quick turn and fire. But keep marking your guys behind you so that the elites focus on them. And really, I think there's 6 total, but once 2 of them go down, it starts to become a little... Uh-oh, one of my guys is down. Once at least 2 of them go down, it starts to get a lot easier. You're able to put more damage on the remaining ones. They're spread out a little bit more. They're not bunched up. And that's really where people generally take, including me, take gas, is when you've got 2 or 3 bunched up firing at you at the same time. And that's why marking your guys behind you is really important. You obviously don't want to mark them ahead of you, because you'll be walking right into the Knight's fire. Alright, I'm a little leaky there, I think. It's hard to tell. See, because my shields are down, that little sparkly stuff is me. But if I remember correctly, oops, I took some gas there. Oh, there, okay. That hurt. Alright, I'm starting to smoke. And I believe before the, yep, there we go. Now I'm getting concerned. Because one more, it's very possible that one more shot and I'm going to go down. Maybe I might have enough health left in the Manus for 2 shots. As long as it's, you know, when my shields are full, I might take a glancing blow and survive, but that will also damage me. And that's why I had the light rifle, just in case if my Manus had gotten so bad that I knew that one shot, one more even glancing blow is going to take me out. I was prepared to jump out of the Manus and take on the Knights, however many were left. Okay, we got one. Hot diggity. Take on the Knights on foot, which is probably not a wise thing to do. Alright, these guys are pretty much damaged, by the way, even though we've got, you know, most of them left. They're pretty much damaged. And so, you know, with all the fire that I've been putting on them, it's not going to take much more. And when my guys come back and start putting fire on these guys, because they will fire back when the Knights start firing at them. When my guys start firing at these guys, they put even more damage on them. Okay, at this point I saw a couple of them over there, so I decided to reverse direction. Got a little worried about that. So I want the ones that are bunched up like that in the far side, again, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop in one position here. I'm going to keep moving. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was close. At least when I see it coming at me, unless it's an incinerator cannon up close, then I'm okay. Now, notice that the guys have I set my guys behind me, and the remaining knights kind of moved away from where they were bunched up over here and sort of moved towards them. Whoops! Didn't like that, so I'm going to turn around and move the other way. Alright, I set my guys up over there on the left. Alright, he blasted me once, or blasted towards me once, but because I was moving back up the ramp, he missed. Alright, I marked one over there. It looks pretty weak. Alright, it looks to me, I may have taken out more than what I thought. Alright, I think they both have incinerator cannons. It looks to me like there's 2, maybe 3 left. And they are not chasing me now. They are not coming after me. There goes another one. So at this point in the mission, okay, there were 3 left because I can see one that I just marked and another one kind of hidden in the middle. So at this point, I really don't need to do the walk. I just have to be, whoa, I have to be careful. Okay, another one just went down. And that's what I meant by, you know, as you walk around and fire and fire and fire, at some point you're going to damage them enough that either you're going to take one out or your buddies are going to take one out because the shields are just so far down. Alright, so it looks to me like, again, now I'm using this platform here a little bit as a shield. Okay, there's 2 left. And I think they're both pretty weak. They're starting to talk a little bit. Okay, there goes another one. And so I think I'm down. Oh, and there's the last one right there, I think. So now he's getting ready to charge. So now I start walking again. And I believe that's it. So the idea here in this last wave is take out the watchers first, do the circle, take out the watchers, set your guys behind you so the knights will focus on you, and then continue around the circle until you've taken out 2 or 3, and at that point you can judge how you want to move. Just keep putting fire on them. Okay, we are just about done here. Alright. Exuberant has put up a shield around us. There's a whole bunch of knights that are going to spawn, and we're just kind of laughing at them like, too bad, sucker, you can't hit us. Alright, and now we got to go interrupt the energy link of the relay axis. And this is really, you know, kind of, I'm trying to remember, there was another mission we kind of did something similar in another game. I just don't quite recall it. Alright, we'll open the shield so we can go. By the way, this really doesn't take too much to do here. This is sort of like another user-involved, player-involved cutscene. Alright, there's going to be a wave. And I'm going to come back, and I'm going to run up again. And then another wave, and at some point I lose my sprint. I'm losing my sprint, but I've discovered that I can boost. Oh, here comes another wave. Oh, this is like the end of, this is sort of like the end of Halo 4. When we're trying to get to, what's his name? Alright. That was boost, by the way, so I can still do that. I can't run, but I can boost. I can do the Spartan thrust. You can do it! Alright, we're there. Take it and hit your take action key. That's what does this. Alright, Exuberant's going to grab the Cryptum and bring the blue team back down. But unfortunately, because we don't have cinematics of score attack, we're not going to see the Chief and blue team emerge from the Cryptum and have a powwow or a parlay. The mission will end when the Cryptum comes down. So that's unfortunate. So maybe at some point I'll go back in and do the missions at a lower level of difficulty, with score attack off, so we can see all the cinematics. Because there is connection between these missions. It's just we just don't see it because with score attack on, we lose the cutscenes, the cinematics. But see, with the cutscene, that would open up and the Chief would pop out with blue team, but no joy there. That's it, though. That is the mission. That is Guardians on Mythic LASO difficulty. And I am so glad that's over with. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helps. This is Old and Achy signing off. Take care, everybody.